Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kristen Brown, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about a subject that is frustrating, annoying, difficult. It can be heart-wrenching, it can be painful, it can be one of the most maddening things that we have to deal with here on Earth is people who are toxic, emotionally unhealthy, or narcissistic. And we are trying to have relationships with them, and it is just not going the way that we want it to go. So chances are that you have searched for this topic, and I welcome you here, and I hope that you stay till the end because I'm going to be dropping a lot of juicy nuggets that are from my personal experiences of healing from dealing with these type of people. If you're new here, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications so that you can be alerted when I upload new videos. So let's dive in. All right, what's it like? We're dealing with these people. We're trying to have a conversation. We're trying to share our feelings. We're trying to have a healthier experience with them, and they're just not having it. They're argumentative. They fight hard. They get mad. They may yell. They may turn things around on you. They may call you names. They could lie about you. They could detour from facts. That's a big one, because back in the day when I was dealing with people like this, I was trying to stick to the facts. So hopefully this person would just have this epiphany and they'd be like, oh yeah, oh, I see. Yeah, that's the fact, but it never happened. And today I really want to speak from my heart to you because I want you to heal from this. I want you to take your power back, get back into the power seat of your life, and to know that there is ways to maneuver around these people and to handle them in a way that is more effective so that you don't get sucked into the crazy abyss. I've been there myself, and more times than I want to admit or that I enjoyed being in. And it wasn't until I finally said, okay, I've got to find a way to not do this because it is hurting me. And that's the most important thing that you need to understand, is that you're the one that's being hurt in this process. Because many times when we get sucked into this with these people, they have unloaded all of this toxic, negative, and dark energy on us, and they're walking away feeling pretty free and clear. And now we're walking around with this heavy weight and this burden that they dumped on us. And we're like, okay, forgiveness, and all these things we're trying to do, but yet we're walking around with this stuff. So the key to this, the information that I want to share with you today, is how to not even engage, how to not even show up for that lunacy, because it is only hurting you. As recovering people pleasers, we have to learn to reclaim our personal power. And we do that by going higher. We're finding ways that we can actually heal, grow, shift, morph, and evolve so that we don't get sucked into this type of toxic thing. And one of the first things I want to mention is that it's important that you learn to regulate your nervous system. Because if you are dealing with somebody on a continual basis who is activating your nervous system because they are attacking you in some type of way, it is very, very important that you learn to regulate your nervous system. Now, from the start, people might wanting to click out. Next video, I don't want to do that. Please stay with me here while I unpack this for you, because it's going to make perfect sense. So if you are constantly on this high alert in your body because you're having to deal with this type of person, you have to understand that you are bringing a certain energy to the conversation. But when you can learn to calm your nervous system through meditation or practicing presence or whatever it might be for you that works for you, could be walking in nature, listening to binaural beats, however this works for you, find a way to calm your nervous system so that when you're dealing with that person, you're not already coming with an elevated energy inside of you. So being calm going in is utmost of importance. The second thing that I want you to understand is that oftentimes we are continually and repeatedly shocked or surprised about the things that they say to us. And it's important that you really grasp onto and accept that this is how this person is. All right. This is not about you. You're not wrong, because you're coming to this in a very healthy stance, and you're trying to have a healthy conversation and you're seeking for a solution. But they're taking the information that you're giving them and they're twisting it all around, and they're making this holy mess out of this. And you're just kind of shocked. Like, I can't believe this is happening. And in the meantime, they're saying things to you that are really mean and dastardly And it's almost insane because they'll make up lies about you, or they'll tell stories about you to you that you're like, who are you even talking about? Like, that is so not me. All right. Those are the definitions of what it is to deal with an emotionally unhealthy or toxic or narcissistic person. So when you can start accepting that this is who they are, and this is how they do, and this is how they communicate, and stop being shocked and surprised by the craziness that comes out of their mouth. I've heard many times from coaching clients, they're just so floored and defeated by what this person is saying. I want you to know that you are projecting your goodness, your clarity, your healing, and your wisdom onto them. You're actually projecting your goodness onto them, and you're expecting them to be who you are. This is what you have to get radically clear on. They're not you. Okay. In the meantime, what are they doing? They're projecting their darkness onto you. And so you're being not seen, heard, or understood, and you're wanting to fight for your life with someone who is not yet in the capability of seeing who you are. So stop being surprised. The third thing to do is to make a decision within yourself that you're going to stop engaging in this behavior. Now, keep in mind that these type of people thrive in high emotion because they're expressing all this darkness that's inside of them, like I mentioned earlier. But by you joining that, you are actually feeding the frenzy. You are putting blood in the water for the sharks, okay? So it's really important that you go inside and you say, I am going to make a very pointed decision to stop engaging in this. So far, you are calm and you have made it, you are not going to take what they're saying personally because you know they're just attacking, and you are making the decision not to engage in this. And this is where it gets really important. This is where appropriate and healthy personal boundaries come into place. Now, this might sound easier said than done off the top because you're like, well, I've tried to set boundaries. I've tried to say things. Well, here's the deal. When word boundaries don't work, we have to use physical/action boundaries, which means the minute your person gets elevated and you can feel yourself, your nervous system getting responsive to this, even if you're in a calm space, your nervous system will respond because we are designed that way to want to protect ourselves against danger. So when your body starts to alert you that you are getting attacked in some type of a way, that's your cue in. That's when you're like, okay, this is going to go sideways. I'm going to catch it now before it escalates, and I'm going to remove myself from this. Now, oftentimes, this is happening with people that we are the most close to, because people that are the closest to us somehow feel like they can act this way to us rather than to anybody else in their world. But here's what's important. It's important to understand that this is actually a choice on their behalf. That's why a lot of times narcissists and toxic people and emotionally unhealthy people can have this game face, or they can show up to the world as this nice person and they're charming and they're calm and they're kind. But then they come home to you, or they get on the phone with you or whatever, and you start becoming their whipping bag or punching bag, whatever it might be. And it's important for you to know that this is a choice for them. But when you decide to reclaim your personal power and to protect, I don't mean armor yourself off to the world. I mean, protect your sacred self by saying, I will not engage in this. Why? Because you are actually lowering your vibration to their level. I've done it more times than I can tell you, and it always felt crappy. And I was like, why am I walking away from this feeling so crappy? I'm not the person that was doing the stuff. So I made a decision inside of myself that I was not going to lower myself to that anymore, that I would walk away from whatever individual this is. And we do it in a calm and assertive way. We say, I'm not going to engage in this, so I'm going to leave. And you either remove yourself physically, or you hang up the phone, you do whatever it takes to get yourself away from this. Now, in certain individuals, I have said, I'm not going to engage in this. This is going sideways, or this is getting toxic. So I'm going to remove myself, but I'm happy to show up to a calm conversation. And what I have noticed is that many times the people that truly love me and care about the relationship will go and get themselves calm. At first, they might fight my boundary a little bit, but that's where you have to stay firmly rooted in your personal power. This is why self-love is so important, because this is actually loving yourself. Protecting yourself is one of the 5 tenets of self-love. And when you say, I am not going to allow me to be treated like that or to get sucked into this toxicity again, a lot of times people are going to kick and scream a little bit when you do that. But when you do this on a consistent basis, like, oh, there it is, I'm out. Up, there it is, I'm out. Up, there it is, I'm out. When you do that on a consistent basis, your person who loves you and wants to be with you, that person is going to learn to regulate themselves, because they still want you in their life, or they want you to hear them out, or they want you to listen to whatever it is that they have to say. But you are now bringing something really positive and high vibration to the situation. Now, the people who really don't care about you, that they're just there to take from you, chances are they're going to go, and they're going to go find another victim that they can be their toxic and narcissistic self with. This can feel like rejection at first for us recovering people pleasers, because one of the things that people pleasers are trying to avoid is rejection. That's why we shift and mold and morph and chameleon to fit into everybody else's ideal of who we should be, because we're afraid of that rejection. But here's what we're doing. When we raise our vibration, toxic and low vibe people are going to fall away from us. And it's important when we feel that at first and we're like, ooh, I feel that rejection, they're not coming back around, to just let that sink in for a moment and to let yourself know this is a gift. If a toxic or narcissistic person leaves your life, that means you have up-leveled yourself and you have gotten yourself into a vibration where you no longer jive with that, and those people will leave. People that are on the healing path and who actually love you are going to be willing to adjust themselves to meet you at that boundary. The most key thing here to remember is that you have to make yourself matter. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable because it's the new status, right? It's the new status quo. It is something that you have not done before, and you might be a little wobbly at first, just like a little toddler that's learning to walk. It might feel really uncomfortable. It might feel awkward. But with practice, you are going to get better and better and better at this, to the point where you just no longer even engage in that. In fact, you will start vibrating such an energy that those people won't come out at you with that, because they are going to instinctively know that they can't. I really hope you enjoyed this video today. This is something that is really near and dear to my heart, because as a recovering people pleaser, we tend to attract those people to us, and we think this is just the way it is. This is just how some people is. And I'm here to let you know that that is not, that you can reclaim your power and you can teach those around you what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Thank you for being here, everyone. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications. And I look forward to talking to you next time. Much love.